Okay, now we will study about the SN1 mechanism. Earlier we had studied about the SN2 mechanism. In SN1 mechanism, here you can see, I am just showing you first an example, then I'll explain you the mechanism of this SN1 nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, first here this is your 2-bromo 2-methyl propane. Okay, as we when we will name it as 1 2 3. Okay, so it is your 2-bromo 2-methyl propane. Okay, so this is a 2-methyl 2-bromo-propane which is reacting with the hydroxide ion, which is your nucleophile, and this halogen atom, this bromine, is a leaving group here. It leaves the alkyl group, and hydroxide ion takes place of this bromine atom, bromine halogen. Okay, so now we will study about the mechanism of this SN1 reaction. Okay, so basically students, SN1 reactions are generally carried out in polar protic solvents like water, alcohol, acetic acid, and the reaction between the tertiary butyl bromide and the hydroxide ion yields tertiary butyl alcohol and follows the first order kinetics, that is the rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of only one reactant, which is your tertiary butyl bromide. Okay, as in SN2 reaction we had seen that the rate of the reaction was dependent upon both the reactants, that was your alkyl halide and also your nucleophile, but in this case the whole reaction rate depends only on the concentration of your alkyl halide, not on the concentration of the nucleophile which is attacking it. Okay, so that is why it is known as the unimolecular substitution reaction. Okay, so basically as you all know that the rate determining step is the slowest step. Okay, when the reaction takes place in more than one step, then the step which is the slowest is the rate determining step. Okay, so this mechanism is divided into two steps. In the first step, this tertiary butyl bromide first forms a carbocation. Okay, this what happens is this bond between carbon and bromine. This bond between carbon and bromine just breaks from here. You can see that there is a cleavage of the carbon bromine bond, which is a slow step process, and it forms a carbocation and bromide ion. Okay, so the carbocation thus formed is attacked in the second step. Okay, this the carbon cation which is formed in the first step is attacked by the nucleophile in the second step. Okay, and this nucleophile gets attached to this place. Okay, so then we, instead of bromine atom, we are getting hydroxide ion over here. Okay, so this is your mechanism of the SN1 reaction, or you can say unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, so in this case I am just repeating it once again. That's in this case this whole reaction depends on the concentration of only one reactant, which is your alkyl halide, that is why it is known as the unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, in which this alkyl halide is first loses its halogen atom and forms a carbocation, and the carbocation which we get in the first step, this step 1, which is the formation of the carbocation step, is the slowest step. That is why this is the rate determining step of the SN1 mechanism, due to which we get first of all we get carbocation, and in the second step this carbocation which we got in the step 1 is attacked by the nucleophile, and we get nucleophile attached to the carbocation place, attached to the carbocation, and this bromine is substituted by the nucleophile. Okay, now we will study the reactivity series of this SN1 mechanism. So just opposite to the SN2 mechanism, tertiary 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 alkyl halides are more reactive than the secondary alkyl halides, which are more reactive than the primary alkyl halides. Okay, so basically the reason behind it is that the tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive than the secondary, which is more reactive than the primary. The main reason behind this is basically due to the formation of the carbocation, which is being taking place in the first step. The carbocation is the intermediate in this mechanism. Okay, so basically the reaction, the products of only those intermediates are formed, which are long lasting, or you can say only those reactants which are more stable are able to form the products. Okay, so basically the tertiary carbocations are most stable, and then after that secondary carbocations are stable, and primary carbocations are the least stable. That is why the reactivity series in this case is tertiary, from tertiary to primary.